So I think it's just like he's
He's
processing,
learning, right?
learning that.
Yeah.
But it took him literally like 5 minutes to do all of that.
Right.
And I'm staring at him and I'm like, Conrad, put it in the sink. Put it in the sink. No, that's not the sink. That's the trash can. Close the trash can. We don't play with trash. Like, no, that's Aki's. That's Aki's, Conrad. Put it in the sink. Like, literally just like repeating myself for like 5 minutes.
Like,
And he just like looks at me like he's just holding the bottle and he's like this. It's like, Conrad, put it in the sink. Welcome to ASMR Radio. This is your host, Jay.
And this is your co-host, Molly.
It sounds like Pop Rocks. You ever eat Pop Rocks?
Yeah, it does.
It's like. All right, guys. Welcome. We are eating dessert right now. I am eating something I finally found at Costco. The Dole Whip. And I didn't think it was gonna come in these small damn cups. I thought it was gonna be a big old like tub of it. I found it last weekend and I bought like six boxes of it, and it has 8 little cups in it, and ate one, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about this.
No. He ate one. He does this. Gets a big old scoopful, puts it in his mouth, and he goes,
With the first one?
Yeah. And then he's like, yeah, I'm a little underwhelmed. He acted like it was the best thing he ever put in his mouth.
Well, ooh.
And then I know.
That's what she said.
And then now he's like, can I take a box back?
Yeah. Well, it has too much coconut like taste to it. And the ones that I made is like straight sour ass pineapple.
Same as the ones in like Disney are pineapple.
Yeah. This has coconut cream in it, so it's a little bit more like, creamy, which I don't really like. And it's hard. And I've waited 10 minutes to eat it. Because then on the top it says, let me thaw for 10 minutes. You can wait or something like that. And I'm like, okay, I'll let you wait. Freaking thaw out then. Nope, it's not thawed out. So I'm eating it. But the reason why like I love Dole Whip is one, because when I grew up in Hawaii, we used to go to the Dole Plantation and get real Dole Whip from the Dole Plantation.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. And then obviously in Disneyland, on our honeymoon, we ate like, I think we only ate once. We ate a bunch of churros.
Churros was our thing. Yeah.
But when we got a Dole Whip,
Because it's not, Dole Whip isn't everywhere like churros.
that would be more reason to eat the Dole Whip.
What do you mean?
Oh, you're talking, it wasn't like all over the park.
Like you had to go back to the same spot.
Gotcha.
Which is like hard when the
I thought you were
park is
talking
so
about
big.
like churros versus Dole Whip in the world.
Got
Like,
it.
they're not
Got it.
really-
Yeah, no.
Yeah, because then Dole Whip is just very limited.
Yes.
You can get churros in freaking Little Mexico here in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have it. But so anyways, today's episode is brought to you by Dole Whip. And what are you eating?
Oh, keto bars.
Keto bar.
Keto pint?
No, it's keto bar.
It says pint.
I know, but that's the ice cream. It comes in pints too.
Oh.
A little ASMR because I'm gonna finish this before we start this podcast. But anyways,
Oh my God.
I'm gonna cut all this out
Why?
because now I need a drink.
Oh my God.
Can I have some of your drink,
No.
please? Sharing is caring.
Yeah, but I have to get my water in.
You didn't drink your water?
No, I'm doing okay. I should have drank all that, but now it's, only a quarter of it.
Today's episode is brought to you by Body Armor Light. This is
Dragon
the
fruit.
best flavor, by the way. Dragon fruit berry, best flavor. I think we've just become Costco freaks.
We have.
Like everything we talk about is from Costco. That's from Costco. This is from Costco. That's from Costco.
I was talking to a coworker today, and I don't know why I said we started talking about Costco, but I told her that we were thinking of doing like people of Costco instead of people of Walmart, and she was totally on board. So I really think we need to do this. She was like, "Oh, I was walking in on like a Tuesday afternoon at like 3:00, and this old lady was coming out with just a thing of strawberries, in her big old cart." And I was like,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
We need to like pay attention when we go to Costco, like of the stuff people at Costco and write it down. All right, guys. So today's episode, when you listen to this episode, it will have been Molly and my second wedding anniversary, the past week. And so today we're gonna kind of just like be a little nostalgic and a little lovey-dovey and talk about the last year, so the second year of our marriage, what we've learned about each other, experiences that we've had, and also any kind of advice that we may give to young budding relationships and newlyweds, because I feel like there's a lot of us who got married in the last
couple years.
Yeah. I mean, all our friends
We
and
should
our
have
cousins.
we should have like pulled them.
I know we should have pulled them. You know what? Maybe I should like one of these episodes. I'm gonna like research it, see if I can like Zoom call and how I can do that with the video. Because I think we should like Zoom call like Kathy and Zach, or Zoom call like Makara with her baby if we had like a baby episode or something. You know. So, anyways. So with that being said, we're gonna do our cards.
Oh yeah.
Which one? Huga?
Yeah.
Let's do Huga. All right. So actually, kind of funny. What were we looking at? And then we're like, oh, that's our card game.
A wedding registry.
Oh, yeah. Your cousin's wedding registry. So there's the couples game, and I don't think this one was on there. The couples game was definitely on it. So it's kind of interesting that people are actually like realizing these. What if they listened and watched our podcast and that's where they got the game from?
That would have been cool.
That's cool, right? We should freaking be like tagged or get some royalties or something.
Yes.
But anyways, yeah, so we're going to do our hookah game, and then we're going to dive into the second year of marriage. And marriage is...
I can't believe it's only been 2 years.
I know, right? It feels forever. Like, I guess that's a good thing.
In not a bad way.
Not a bad way. Yeah. All right, you ready? Here's a burp. Okay. Describe an opportunity that you turned down, but that you now wish you'd accepted.
Opportunity I turned down,
but that you now wish you'd accepted.
I kind of wish I would have went to
De Pere in Green Bay.
Yeah.
Green Bay, University of Wisconsin, Green Bay.
Nope. It's another private school.
De Pere.
It's in De Pere, Wisconsin.
I think it's called De Pere.
It's not.
No. I know people who went there.
I can see it, and I like can't.
Concordia.
Nope.
It starts with a C, I think. Cornell.
It's an N.
Oh, St. Norbert's.
Yep.
Yeah, St. Norbert's. We had a couple people in our dental school who went to St. Norbert's.
Yep. Or looked into
rigor mortis.
I think it's Loyola.
Loyola?
It's up in Appleton, Green Bay area.
No, you're thinking of
Not
Lawrence.
Loyola. Lawrence.
That's a musical school, though.
Yeah, but I think I would have done well there.
Oh yeah, this is Lawrence University.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
we used to ride past that campus all the time.
It was a cool campus too.
Yeah, it was right on the cliff by the river. Yeah. That's a music school.
I don't know that I necessarily turned down. I turned down St. Norbert's, but I wish I would have maybe thought of that.
Why'd you turn them down?
Because they were kind of a jerk to me when I didn't get a good ACT score, but I was like ninth in my class, and I was like, so you're only gonna look at my one score, and they were kind of like, oh, that could be better, and I was like, you can shut your face.
Yeah.
And I walked out.
So then you went to rip on.
Yes.
And then regretted the decision. Could have prepared you a little bit better for med school.
Exactly.
All right. Do genius and madness go hand in hand?
For some people, yes.
I would say yes to that for some people. Because I think you can be a genius but not be mad. Genius and madness, an example is Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg. Like they're geniuses beyond genius. But they're madness when it comes to using that geniusness. Like it's almost like they're too smart for their own good. But you don't have to be mad to be a genius, like a mad scientist, right? You don't have to be that.
No.
You can be humble and genius. What was your worst vacation experience ever?
I don't know. Do you have one?
I don't think I have one. And I was like kind of looking at this as you were answering the first question. I don't think I've ever had a bad vacation experience. Like maybe boring, but not bad. But yeah, I don't think all my trips have been pretty fun.
I remember after we sold our cabin up north, we like would rent cabins and go up north, and we rented this one. And we got there and the grass was like a foot and a half long, and brown. Then like there was like other things like with like the cabin and stuff. We were like, yeah, we're not staying here. And we called them. We were like, we can't stay here. Like the grass is a foot and a half long. It could allow dogs. Like we're not allowing our dogs to like run around, you know, in this.
Ticks and shit.
Yes. So I think we ended up going somewhere else. It was fine. But then I think we rented another place from similar people, or maybe it was a different place. And I literally remember the toilet was like on an angle.
Ew.
You like sit on the toilet.
You were sliding off.
Like, leaning to
your ass
side.
cheek was to one side.
Yeah, it was so
Damn.
funny. It was so funny. I should talk to my family about that. That was hilarious.
That's funny. I think it's not maybe the craziest, but one of the craziest is when me, Daniel, McCara, and Allison met up in Chicago to go watch Hamilton, and there was bed bugs in our freaking hotel, we found one on the sheet, and we're like, we have a bed bug here. And then the front desk was like, okay, well, whatever you took out of your bags, put them in these bags, and like these clear bags, we'll dry clean it for you tonight. And then we'll move you to another room. So we're like, what the frick? So then they put us in another room, and then the first thing we did was strip the bed and then like looked on the corners and stuff. And we kept all our bags off of the floor on those little like like thingy-majiggers on the counters, like in the bathroom. I think somebody put their suitcase in the bathtub, or maybe when they got home they put their suitcase in a bathtub or in a bag outside. Oh, it was Daniel that did that.
Oh yeah,
because you're trying to kill these freaking bed bugs, right? If they got it in your bag and stuff. I know we were freaking out.
Yeah,
and it's like we were like
there.
sleeping. Like I think there was the first time I wore socks when I freaking hate wearing socks when I sleep. But I wore socks and like long pants, and I was just like, ain't nothing freaking biting me. I don't know what we did. I don't know if we like slept like differently, you know, like not at the head of the bed, like sideways. I don't know, but it was freaking wild. Yeah,
there's no.
Yeah.
Remember that video we watched with the bed bugs?
Which one?
The one where they were like experimenting with them and whether or not like and how they crawled up the.
Yeah.
You have to find that and send that to me because they're doing some sort of in-service at work about bed bugs, and I said I would send it to them.
Freaking bed bugs. That's disgusting. Alrighty, well, now that we've got the creepy crawlies out, let's bring the feels back in. Good feelings.
Yeah.
So, April 23rd, Molly and I celebrate our 2-year anniversary.
So crazy.
So crazy. And she still doesn't remember all the dates in April. I bet you can't name them. April 23rd is our wedding anniversary.
April 25th is our dating anniversary.
Okay. When did we get engaged?
April 10th.
April. Oh, look at that. She got it.
You're welcome.
So we did this last year, and first year of marriage, like I think we like just basically said it was just like the same, but like as dating, really, and like our experiences and stuff.
Yeah.
Except we had a baby.
Yeah.
And that was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And now year 2, we had another
baby.
I see a recurring trend here. So in the last year that you can remember, what are some highlights? What are some learning experiences? What are some like feel good moments? What are some, I don't know, just anything and anything about marriage the last year?
I think we've learned more about each other in like a good way, I think we've had to change and adapt because our family has changed, and so that's been a learning experience for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we handled those situations well. I feel like we've continued to grow our team strength and just been there for each other that way and understanding. And, when we've had our tough moments, I guess, we've come out stronger on the other side.
Yeah, I can definitely echo that sentiment.
Yeah.
I think that we definitely like worked on our communication skills a lot more.
Yeah.
Because I think we were forced to.
I think especially like after having Griffin.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if like some of that was just like my emotions, and probably was.
Yeah. I mean, it also is the fact that we have 2 human beings we're trying to take care of.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And so it's not like just like one person can like just take care of a kid. It's like, okay, well, Conrad is throwing a fit.
Yeah.
Can you go help him? Griffin's crying because he needs to get fed. We just had to like divvy up and had to communicate and learn how to communicate, despite some of the struggles with the kids.
I think I learned, and I'm still learning, that I just need to tell you what I need you to do, or like whatever, instead of just being like, well, if you don't understand that this needs to be done, I'll just do it then.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then like secretly being like, oh, he's so annoying. And making that be a problem.
What's crazy now that I think about it? When we were celebrating our wedding anniversary last year, you were pregnant with Griffey.
Mm-hmm.
Did we know? I think we did.
When was Easter last year?
Easter. Yeah, it was before.
Because
because I'm trying to think, because we went to go eat at the Harbor House for our anniversary.
And I was pregnant.
Year. And you were pregnant.
Yeah.
You didn't drink anything, right? No, you had like a virgin something. So I
think so. Yeah.
We did know. That's crazy. So that was so I think so we talked about communications, and it was because we had just started this podcast too last year.
Yeah.
In February.
Yep.
So, we kind of worked on our communication skills and just like our creativity this past year of marriage, and like exploring like podcasting and just getting out of our comfort zones with like social media. And I think that there's a lot about our lives that is like not so, I guess it's not so different than like any ordinary person's life, right?
Yeah.
Like I think that's the cool thing about like what we're doing is like it's not like these big podcasts where they're interviewing famous scientists or actors or actresses or whatever. We just come up with the coolest things about like playing games and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that's like how it's improved our communication over the last year, really.
Oh yeah, I think so too. And I think like I had a colleague be like, oh yeah, I listened to a couple of your podcasts. I haven't listened to a lot. I was like, oh, like feel free to, but I think it's really just become me and Jay's like date night.
Yeah.
And then we were like, I was joking because I was like, she said something about, oh yeah, we used to do like a date night once a month, like every Friday, or maybe it was every Friday, whatever. And I was like, oh yeah, us too. Except now I joke that it's my nap time because like if we sit and watch TV or watch a movie, I'm gonna be passed out and it's not gonna be a date night anymore. So I think like I kind of reflected on that today as we were talking about it, and I was like, this is actually kind of nice instead of us just like sitting watching TV and scrolling on our phone.
Yeah.
You know, so if it really is just something that we end up doing together for years to come, I think it's just good for us. And then like you always say, it's something for our kids to kind of look back on and listen to.
Yeah. I don't know. And I think the problem that I've faced when I'm editing these videos is that I just don't have enough memory, right? So the videos now, I don't have the hard like copy on a hard drive. Once I upload it to YouTube, it's on the YouTube.
Damn.
Like I don't
So
have
if
it.
YouTube crashes,
We don't have any of it. Or Spotify. I think there'll always be that, right? Because then I thought about like, you know how we were talking about the other day is like, what health problems do we have in our family? And then I was saying that we have like maybe dementia. And then your grandpa had a little bit of dementia. So I'm like, oh, I wonder if like these like now that we're just talking about
like
it,
The
I was like, yeah, like I'm just gonna listen, or somebody's gonna listen to these podcasts, whoever's losing their mind, and then like maybe it might just like click and like bring us back to like this time right now. Isn't that wild?
I don't like thinking about
I don't
that.
like
'Cause I
thinking
don't want
about
to think
it,
about like
But I mean,
not
it's just something.
remembering you or like whatever.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But I think like going,
No, I know.
going
Yeah.
and saying like this podcast is something that we could use, or like just listen and remember. Like I just like it. Like one of them popped up on my like feed, like for you, like on Spotify, and I was like, oh, I didn't listen to that one yet, because like I'll just listen to like it as I'm editing it, but then I never like actually listened to it. And it was the one that when we had the snowstorm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's like recapping that because I remember I didn't have video for that.
Oh yeah,
remember?
yeah. Because it cut out.
Because it cut out.
The power went out as we were talking about it. That's right.
Yeah. So then I had to like, I didn't listen to it, but it just came up. I was like, oh, I haven't re-listened to that one since I made it. So I was like, oh, I should just like listen to some of these sometimes.
That's funny.
But, okay, so year 2 down, was there anything surprising that came about like in this second year of marriage that you're just like, now that's marriage, or wow, I'm married?
I can't think of like just a moment. What about you?
I think for me, it was more like whenever like patients talk to me, it's like, oh, congratulations, I heard you had a son like recently, or last year when like people were like, oh my gosh, you have a 1-year-old, like that's crazy. Like I remember like you when you were like single, you know. And then every time I would like talk about our family, it would be like, oh, my wife said this or my wife said that. I'm like, it just rolls off the tongue normal now.
Yeah.
Or supposed to like that first year when it's like my wife, I was like, oh, I have a wife? Like what?
That's funny. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
This is like, it just like rolls off the tongue now. Like, oh yeah. Like we said, it's like, it doesn't feel like it's only been 2 years.
Yeah.
It feels like it's been like 20.
Yeah, it feels like it's been forever and in a good way.
Yeah,
like I feel like it's been like I've known you for so long. And I know we've said that before too. Like I think we just vibe well together. We're a good team. So like things are just smooth for the most part. Thankfully, you know. I mean, like I said, we've learned from each other again this year and we've, you know, gone through our tough moments and whatever. But I think a lot of that also had to do with like our family dynamic changing.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it wasn't necessarily like, oh, we didn't know this about each other. It's just things change and we needed different things. And, you know, we're realizing what we needed and how to better communicate that.
Yeah. I think a lot of newlyweds, you know, they they get stuck in the honeymoon phase,
Mm-hmm.
and that honeymoon phase can be as little as literally your honeymoon, or as long as, I don't know, 5 years, I hear.
Yeah.
But I think when you're stuck in that honeymoon phase, you just feel jaded that, oh, like everything is so great. Like,
Right.
But I think every relationship needs to have like those trials, because
Yeah.
that's what's gonna make you stronger. I think there was like a meme that I saw that was like, like, don't just stand there, fight me.
Mm.
Like when it was like like in having an argument,
Yeah.
like don't just stand there, like fight me. Because I think they said like studies show that like when couples fight or have like disagreements or arguments, that not only do you learn more about your partner, but also learn more about yourself and how you handle those kinds of situations, as opposed to like being closed off and bottling everything up inside.
Yeah.
So
And I think we've talked about that before too. Like relationships can't be all good,
yeah,
you know?
for sure.
And I hate saying like, oh, we're in a fight, because I hate that word, I think. And so I always just say like tough times or whatever. But I also feel like we've never really like truly had a big argument where it was like, oh, I can't talk to you right now. You know what I mean? Like we always like talk through it and whatever.
Or
and
at least we give each other like the space.
Yes,
right? Like
yes.
the times, like when you're ready to talk about this, let's talk about it.
Right. But it's not like, oh, I'm just mad at you all day, every day for weeks
yeah.
or days or months or whatever.
Yeah.
Because of a situation. No, it's something in hindsight, pretty minor, right?
Yeah.
And it's just a misunderstanding of some sort from either party.
Yeah.
And things that we just had to talk through and like understand, right?
And I think that's like, I mean, I don't know, I could speak for myself, but I think for me it was more a lot of just like misunderstanding. It wasn't like any kind of like any wrongdoing or anything like,
or even like, I just can't stand you and you doing this.
Yeah.
Like it's never been like that. It's more just
like a misunderstanding of something.
Yes.
Or something was taken to like the
wrong way.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like either one of us has ever been like the only faulty party. It's like both of us just misunderstanding the situation too.
Yeah.
Like
for sure.
Yeah, I don't know where we were going with that, but I think like these perfect relationships you see.
Yeah.
I think we have a very perfect relationship in my mind.
A very balanced one too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a perfect word for it.
I think the other thing that most relationships struggle to have is like that fun aspect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's okay to like be crazy.
Yes.
And it's okay to kind of put yourself out there and maybe show like a humiliating side or something.
Oh, you mean when I'm like joking around in the morning and you're all like, humph.
That was today. And because somebody just, decided she woke up on the right side of the bed. Like she was just all happy-go-lucky. And I'm like, okay, you woke up at 3 a.m. with Griffey and you are this excited about the day? It's like, I'm tired. I think that's part of why I wasn't like happy-go-lucky. I was like, I have no energy right now. And I wasn't even the one that got up. But I think that's what messed me up.
I think so too.
Because I'd much rather be up.
Yeah.
Than to like be like in that like
that
limbo.
Weird haze.
Yeah. Because that's what I was.
Yeah.
In year 2 of marriage, let's talk about like parenting. That first year,
I think that needs to be a whole separate podcast.
I know. Well, it can be, but let's kind of just touch on it a little bit. So the first year of marriage, like we jumped in 3 months after and had a baby, and had to like learn how to manage our marriage and also manage a baby. Year 2, we have only done it for like 4 months, really, because but
5 months.
5
It will
months.
be 5 months, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So we only had to do it for 5 months out of the 12.
Yeah.
How do you feel that our parenting changed in year 2 with like
Like a newborn, I guess.
with our newborn? Yeah.
Okay. We're way more chill. You're way more chill.
Yeah, I was gonna
You're
say.
way more chill.
Okay. The reason, I guess where I'm going with this question is, do you feel that our parenting style changed and has affected who we are as like a couple, or as like, like in a marriage? Has that changed how we view the other person? So for instance, you
Yes.
say I'm like way chill. Does that bother you that I'm more chill?
No, because like if we still have a problem or whatever, or if we have like, I guess like a problem, is that you're still going to be the one who's going to research it and be all like, okay, this is what we got to do.
Oh, that's true.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's what we did when Conrad got all them spots on his body. I was like looking up about.
And that was so funny because we like totally like we went back and forth of who was worried and who wasn't.
Yeah.
Like you were worried at first, and I'm like, it's just a little bit of a rash, and then it was still there, and you're like, he's acting fine. What's the big deal? And I'm like, but it's this and that.
Yeah.
Like, we totally like over the
Switched
course of like
roles.
2 weeks, it was like a roller coaster of who was worried and who wasn't.
Yeah. I think that there was a different dynamic with Conrad in particular, because there was a point when I think Conrad only like wanted me,
Yes.
and I think that kind of bothered you a little bit.
He still only wants you.
He does not.
Yes.
He likes you a lot.
I'm not saying he doesn't like me.
No, I
I'm not
know.
saying he doesn't love me. I'm not saying he doesn't know that I'm his mom, but he prefers his dad. Everything. Okay, perfect prime example. I usually go pick up Conrad from school. We come home, and about 30 minutes, anywhere from like 5 to 10 to 45 minutes later, Dad walks in the door. He literally before you even get here, he's like, he'll hear something. Literally like this, finger up in the air, eyebrows up. Daddy? No, that's not Daddy. Daddy's not home yet. He's still at work. Okay, he keeps doing what he's doing. He hears the damn door click from the garage, and he can be doing something. He'll hear it close, and because he didn't hear it right away, he's like, eyes up, big. Daddy. And he's like, hide, because we do this thing where we hide from each other. Okay. I do not pick them up today. Jay goes and picks them up for the first time in a while. I come home with no children. I walk in the door. It is completely silent in the house. I'm like, oh, they're hiding. How cute. No. Jay is on the couch holding Griffin. Conrad is in his play area watching the TV. Doesn't even acknowledge that mom came home. Not excited, not nothing.
Well,
And I guarantee if the roles were reversed, he would have been like, stop watching Bluey.
I doubt it.
Daddy?
I doubt it.
I will try next week. I'm going to try next week just to prove this.
Yeah, we'll return a report.
And then Jay goes, Bubba's, look, it's mom. He turns back to the TV. Hi. Hi, dude. Not big eyes. Ooh, it's mom. Nothing. Just he kind of turns. He smiles. He smiles.
Yeah, he
Ooh,
smiled.
it's mom. Yay. Hi. Turns back. And it's okay. I might be just a little bit butthurt about it because I love him so much. But we have good moments still. So I mean, it's still good. But I mean, he just loves you. And that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing.
I think that he has his moments, because there's sometimes when he like only wants you.
Or
like he realizes that like you're more patient in some instances than I am.
Yeah.
Like I think that's where like the other dynamic is changed, is like sometimes like with his tantrums I'm just like, I'm only gonna tolerate this for like 2 minutes, and then the moment you just like keep going after that 2 minute mark, I get really impatient.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude,
So
okay,
I think
you can go do shit.
I think you can hear it in your voice too that you're like done, and I think he notices that. And we'll have to have another like parent conversation, like podcast. I think that should be our next one. Because I've read like so many things that make so much sense that like when they're in like that tantrum kind of phase, they are only focused on that, and then they forget what the tantrum really was about, and they're just focused on this high emotion, right? They don't know what to do with it. They don't know how to regulate it. So they have no idea what we wanted them to do.
Yeah.
Right? So you just need to like bring it down, let them have their moment, and then bring down that like
Yeah,
emotion. And then it's like, okay, we need to do this now.
Yeah.
This is what we needed to do. It's going to be okay. You know? Yeah, I will acknowledge I am a little bit more patient in those situations
Yeah.
sometimes, because you come home sometimes and I'm just like, I'm done. I like the other day,
Well,
this
there's
week, I
also-
was like, no one talk. Just everybody needs to be quiet.
Well, I think there's
so
like
much
those
stimulation.
different kinds of like levels too, because there's like some days when I can tolerate it,
Yes.
and then there's some days when I don't, and then
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
like-
reverse roles. Like
Yes.
some days you just don't tolerate it, and
Yep.
then other days you're just like, okay,
It's okay.
well, it's okay,
Yep,
whatever.
This is what we're doing
Like
today.
there's one weekend, I don't know, Conrad is doing something, and then Molly was just like, Bubba's, I don't know what you want. And it's like, okay, stop. Like it just like went from 0 to 100 in like 5 minutes. I was like, oh, okay. And I think I like grabbed Conrad and I was like, okay, let's go do something, dude, because your mom was just like about to rip your head off, bro. But I was just like, whoa. I was like, okay. Like, and I think that's like where the dynamic changes, like, right? Like, I think that's where parenting in our marriage, like most people maybe don't have, is that you have to be on the same like understanding, right?
Yes.
Understanding is like the big overarching theme of marriage and
Right.
also parenting. And
Right.
if you don't have that with parenting, your marriage could suffer, because then you guys would have these two different conflicting parenting styles.
Yep.
And you're just like, okay, well, we got to talk about this,
Yep.
you know, or this is not going to work. Maybe that's why some marriages fail. And I wonder why, if that's even the case. Parenting. Different parenting leads to disagreements with disciplining.
I don't
or
know that would
teaching.
necessarily destroy a marriage. I think it's also more not understanding what your partner needs in that situation. Like us.
Like one person's doing all the work.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's more that. Because maybe it is. I don't hear that a lot. Like when I hear about divorce and whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe it is, but I think that would be still so hard. At some point, you have to come to an agreement. Because you still have to parent this child, whether
Yeah.
you're together or not.
Or one party will just succumb to the other party's like discipline.
Yeah, but why wouldn't you do that together then? There has to be something else that leads to the separation.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe it like the tides turn on them. That tide.
No, I was like,
like let's say I yelled at Conrad for doing something he wasn't supposed to do, and then you're like, no, that's not how we should talk to him or whatever. And then I come back and be like, don't you tell me how to parent. And then
maybe.
that's like a fight, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like what stemmed from a parenting style affected like a marriage.
Yeah.
Because then I got defensive and like yelled at you, and then we fight, right? Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean that you surrendered to my parenting style.
Right.
It was just this fight
Led
and then
to it.
led to this.
Yeah. But I still think there would be like other things
Yeah.
contributing. Because that one fight I would hope didn't break up a marriage.
Yeah, because he wasn't.
Oh my God.
Was this? I couldn't say that on podcast. I guess I could. I just had to put the explicit. Sorry, guys. No, I agree, and I think that we've done a pretty good job
Yeah.
at like parenting and stuff.
And I was gonna like with your like going back to like your question, like how has the dynamic changed? How have we changed as parents? I was gonna say we're still learning.
Yeah.
Like
No, 100%.
when we had like a little conference with Conrad's teacher, and I was just like, just thanks for helping us be new parents. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like we ask your opinions on things, we ask how he's doing and like how you handle that situation because we're learning from them too, you know, and I think we're just so thankful to them for,
and
being
she reassured us. Conrad's teacher reassured us that we were doing
all right.
Doing all right. Yeah.
You know, I mean, and he's so different at school compared to at home. Like he is just so emotional at home.
Yeah.
And I think that's something we have to talk about and like figure out how we're gonna help him with that.
Yeah, for sure.
I think he knows that we give in and not that we give him everything, but he's yelling, we know what he wants and we give it to him.
Yeah.
Right. And
yeah.
that's what I mean by giving in. And so we need to help him help us know what he wants by, encouraging him to explain things. And then the other thing I've noticed, and now we're getting on like a little more parenting thing, but really quick. The other thing I've kind of noticed is that we have to give him time to do what we're asking him to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not always immediate.
Yeah.
You can see like when we're reading a book and we're like, oh, where's the duck in the page or whatever? You can see he's like trying to figure it out and scan it. And I feel like that's how his brain works when I'm saying, okay, we need to put on your shoes now because otherwise we can't go outside.
Yeah.
His world is like, God, I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this. He's hearing you. He knows he has to get his shoes on, but he's like, I got to go do these 5 other tasks first and then we'll get our shoes on,
Yeah.
And so like just being patient in that sense a little bit,
sure.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting because I've actually learned myself how to manage as a parent just by seeing how he manages situations.
Right.
Like you said, like you just got to give him time,
Yep.
right? Today I was feeding Griffey and I was done with the bottle, so I put the bottle on the table. I said, hey, buddy, can you put that in the sink? I don't think he knew what sink was, like the word sink, so he took it to the trash can.
Aww.
And he threw it in the trash can. I'm like, no, buddy, that's not the sink. The sink is where we wash our hands. And so he like looked up at the sink because it was, our trash can was right by the sink. He like looked up at the faucet and then he took the bottle and then he put it like next to the sink, like on the counter. So I think it's just like he's still he's processing, learning that.
Yeah.
But it took him literally like 5 minutes to do all of that.
Right. See?
And I'm staring at him and I'm like, Conrad, put it in the sink. Put it in the sink. No, that's not the sink. That's the trash can. Close the trash can. We don't play with trash. Like, no, that's Ucky's. That's Ucky's, Conrad. Put it in the sink. Like literally just like repeating myself for like 5 minutes.
Like,
and he just like looks at me like he's just holding the bottle and he's like this.
Yeah. Like trying.
It's like, Conrad, put it in the sink.
Well, and do you remember there's a lot of being like we're working on like 2-step things? Like he knows the 1 step. So I think sometimes too we're like, okay, you need to put your shoes on and then your jacket and then we can go outside. Wait.
Yeah.
All I heard is we're going outside.
Yeah.
So it's like I think we just need to slow down sometimes for him. Like that situation. Like, okay, not the trash, the sink. The sink. No, that's Aki.
Well,
like,
even like tonight, like when we were getting ready to go outside, I was like, hey buddy, you can get your socks on.
Yep.
Get your shoes and your socks on. And he was like, shoes? And it's like, no, where's your socks?
Yep.
Because your socks go on first.
Yes.
And he went to go find his socks. His socks were in his blender. Do you see that? I was like, when did you put your socks in your blender? Yeah. And then like put his socks on. Yep. And then I was like, okay, well, get your shoes on. And he didn't want to get his shoes on. But then we moved to like the jacket. So I think it was like,
a lot.
Like, it was a lot.
Yeah.
But I think that's just like how sometimes we think too. Like,
yes,
we got to do stuff like like methodically.
Yep.
And sometimes it may just take a little bit for us to just do one task.
Yep.
But, well,
is there any moment this year that you were like, wow, I'm married?
I can't pinpoint a moment, but many moments. That one time when we were walking by, I don't know if we were hanging in here or we are just walking by, and then Conrad was like, it's like, Daddy, and like, and Mom, and they pointed at our wedding photo. And then it just like, when I looked at the photo, and I'm looking at it right now, when I looked at the photo, it like literally just like transported me back to that day. It's that one I'm kissing you on your forehead.
Oh, yeah.
It literally took me back for a split second, like in a moment in time of our wedding day.
Yeah.
There's like stuff like that. Like, that like Conrad reminds me of those things, or like the picture above our bed when Conrad was came to sit on our bed, and he like pointed up. He's like, Mom. I was like, and then I looked up and I was like, oh yeah. And so like those like split moments where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm married. You know, not that I
forget or whatever. But
it's just like a reminder of like, oh yeah, like now somebody else is recognizing that we're married. Yeah. You know, and it's our kids that's recognizing that we're, you know, mom and dad.
Yeah.
But yeah, not one specific moment.
No, I agree. No, I agree. Yeah.
I think that we work well together, and I think when, you know, and this is a totally separate podcast, so we're going to talk about the roof and like all our house projects. But I think in those moments when we had those contractors come, like when they would call me and be like, hey, is there anybody else in the household who makes decisions? And I'm like, yeah, my wife. And it's like, oh, what's her name? I'm like, Molly. It's like, okay, well, we'd love to have you and Molly at our appointments so you guys can both make a decision together. And I was like, and the first one that asked me that, I was like, oh, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, that makes sense. Like they want everybody who's going to be living in a house to make the decision together, you know, because they don't want one person making a decision and the other person like financially responsible or whatever, hates the project and then whatever, you know. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So then it was like, oh yeah, my wife Molly, you know, and like I said, it just like rolls off my tongue when I don't really need to think about it because it's just like natural. Yeah. Which I don't know if like that's a good thing or bad thing, because I think like sometimes, you know, you talk about these people who's like, oh man, I've been married for way too long, you know.
I think it's a good thing because I don't think it's not like you're like, oh, my wife, you know, it's my wife, you know? Yeah. And I like you pointing that out because I don't know that I realized when the switch happened, but it is really easy just to say, oh, my husband and I, you know? Yeah. Like, it's kind of crazy.
Cool. Yeah, it's cool and crazy at the same time. Because I still think to myself, I'm like, am I even like old enough and mature enough to be married? Like, am I old enough and mature enough to have kids? Like
two of them.
Yeah. It's kind of wild.
I question it some days too.
Yeah. Like, what are we getting ourselves into?
No, I'm just questioning if you're old enough. Oh, or you know, mature enough to have 2 children.
Hey, I already know 3 kids in this family.
Oh, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, you gotta tell. You know something I don't know. I got
baby. It. Yeah. Anything else? Any other thoughts?
I love you.
I love you, babe. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
We are going to brunch and we're making candles. We're going to candle making for our anniversary. Yeah. So we should do something on our anniversary. Maybe we have like a nice dinner or something.
I could do that.
Pick up dinner on Tuesday or something. Cool.
Texas
and then
Roadhouse.
We had have sex and it felt so good. Oh, whoa, what? What the heck?
I'm sorry.
Anyways, all right, guys. Well, that's our anniversary episode. We just want to get all lovey-dovey, feely, all in the feels for our.
What's that other song?
What?
Let's do it like the bees do it.
What?
Let's do it. Let's fall in love.
What the heck kind of song is
I
that?
think I just put two songs
Is that
together.
from Barney?
I think I just put two songs together. Hold on. You don't know that?
I
one?
do not know that song.
Bees do it.
No.
Yeah.
I do not know.
It's
No.
like animal
What?
something. Ooh, that's gonna bother me.
You
It's
and
like,
me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel.
But there's another like bees song. See, I was putting two ones together.
Yeah.
It's like
Bees?
bees do it. Let's fall in love. I think it's an old
Somebody
song.
comment in the comment section.
You know what song I'm talking about, man. You don't, but it's fine. It's an
No.
old song.
Yeah, see, I don't know. Let's talk
I'm-
about sex, baby.
Baby,
Let's talk about
you
that song.
and me.
That's a B.
Let's
There's
talk
a
about-
B in there. Are you putting
No, it's
that in
literally
there?
like-
B?
No, it's literally like even bees do it.
Yeah, no. All right.
Yeah, no.
Well, we're gonna go find this song, and it's gonna be hilarious because I'm not gonna know this song.
I bet you will.
No. Alrighty, guys. Thank you for listening to our Unscripted Conversations podcast. My name is Jay.
And I'm Molly.
And catch us again on our next episode when we don't know what we talk about and we just fly off the wall
Yeah, right.
what we talk about. So, peace out.
Peace.
Bye.